Didn't we enjoy reading short stories when we were young? No, the ones with unrealistic fantasy creatures. Oh, always the villains, the bad guys were identified easily in the story, isn't it? And the good ones, the good side always won in the end. So these are called fables, short stories. Reading these fables, while growing up, makes you realize how similar animals and humans as creatures really are, isn't it? Well, would you like to know how some fables first came into existence? Well, I'll tell you. They were first, written by a man called Aesop. Okay? Aesop was a Greek fabulist and a storyteller. And he has written number of fables. And all those fables, are collectively known as Aesop's fables. So that is what we see, adapted from Aesop's fables. Okay. Have you heard of this line, united we stand, divided we fall. Yes, you know how this came into existence? Aesop was the one who coined that phrase together in the book called The Four Oxen and the Lion. So many of these stories, are characterized by animals and inanimate objects. These are called as fables. They are in the story, animals are given importance, or they act as the character. Okay, so they have the ability to talk, they have the ability to solve problems, and they are given the general characteristics of a human beings. So that is what is a fable. I've also given over there, a fable is a story often with animals as characters that convey a moral, isn't it? So this is known as a fable, and this kind of a fable, today we are going to read one such fable, and that is in the form of a poem, that is The Ant and the Cricket, adapted from Aesop's fables. Okay, are you ready, children? Shall we proceed? Yes. A silly young cricket, accustomed to sing through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring, began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Not a crumb to be found on the snow-covered ground. Not a flower could he see, not a leaf on a tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me? See? Now this is talking about a cricket. There was a young and a silly cricket, Cricket, I told you what a cricket is. Cricket is an insect like the grasshopper. Okay? So it is all about the cricket. This silly cricket, silly means what? Who lacks wisdom. He's actually foolish in doing this. So he was a silly cricket. He's called a silly cricket. He was accustomed to sing. Accustomed means he spent all his time in singing. He was addicted to something. That is to singing and to dancing. And what did he do? Through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring. So this summer and spring, is a month meant for work. Because next is which season coming? Next will be winter coming. And during the winter season, food is very difficult to be found. Finding food would become very difficult. But the summer and spring season, you have to be wise enough to store food. So that was the job this cricket had to do during summer and spring. But what was he doing? He never did that. Instead, he spent all his time singing and dancing. And finally what he finds is he goes to his cupboard and he starts to complain. What was his complaint? He says that he spent all his time without storing food, and now nothing is found. The cupboard is totally empty, winter season has also come. Because winter season has come, he cannot find food. Not a crumb to be found, it seems. Crumb means what? A small piece of bread. He was gay in the sunny months of gay. Gay means happy and enjoying. He was enjoyable there during the summer and spring. And now he is not able to find even a crumb. Crumb means even a piece of bread. It is his fault, right? And what happens? See, winter season, what all will happen? Only now he realizes that the ground was covered with snow. There was not even a crumb to be found. There were no flowers. There were no leaves. And there was perpetually nothing to eat within the house or outside also. There was nothing, totally, absolutely nothing inside the house nor outside the house. And now what happens to him? He becomes so desperate. Desperate means he longs for food. And he became so desperate, not knowing what to eat and how to survive. That's what the last line says. Oh, what will become of me? So he complains like that. What will become of me? I've got nothing to eat, nothing in my cupboard. So what am I going to do? Let's see what he is going to do. At last, by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold, away he set off to a miserly ant, to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant him shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain. He wished only to borrow, he'd repay it tomorrow. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow. See these lines, the poet depicts how the cricket had to forego his self-esteem and go begging before the ant. Now he goes begging to the ant. Why? Because the cricket was actually starving. Starving means what? Starvation means what? Hunger. And that was due to famine. Famine means nothing found, everything empty. That is called as famine. No growth, nothing, no food at all. That is called as famine. So there was famine and hunger, no resources. He has to live, isn't it? During the cold months of winter. And it was very cold also. He was trembling and he was dripping. Dripping means what? Becoming wet. Now his health was also getting worse. Yeah, he was losing his health also. He had no shelter. See, all this this has happened to the cricket. He had no shelter. So what has he to do now? So he just planned, or he set off. Set off means he began to walk, or to go, to take a journey. To whom? To meet a miserly ant. Now the poet is calling this ant a miserly ant. Miserly means here it can be taken as tiny. The real meaning for miserly is that is called as miserly. Okay. Why does he go to meet the miserly ant? Is he is hoping that the ant may help him with something that would keep him alive. So that is why he goes. And you know what happens? The cricket now approaches the ant. He seeks his help for shelter. First he seeks his help for shelter because he's got no house, no food. Next is a mouthful of grain. Grain means what? Food that the cricket eats. And then what he says is, see, he wants to keep up his self-esteem. Now it is not like he's begging, but still he says, see, I will take it from you. I wish to borrow from you. Borrow means what? I wish to take it from you. Please give me. And tomorrow I will repay it. I will repay it tomorrow. That's what he means. I will give it back to you. If not, if you don't help me out, what will happen is I will suffer from hunger and starvation, and I will die due to what? Due to starvation and sorrow. I'm going to be in pain. I'll become very sad, and starvation also will kill me, he says. So he promises that he would pay him back whatever he takes. So let's see what happens, whether the ant helps him or the ant refuses. Okay, shall we see to it? Says the ant to the cricket, I'm your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket, not I. My heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay. See, the answer the ant gives, he felt sorry. He feels sorry for the cricket. But he's so humble in telling, see, cricket, I am your servant and your friend too. He humbles himself. ரொம்ப தாழ்மையா நான் வந்து உன்னுடைய ஃப்ரெண்ட், உன்னுடைய சர்வெண்ட். ஆனால் what is the problem is, we ants, we never borrow, we never lend. Borrow means what? We never take from anybody, nor do we lend. Lend means we grant, nor do we give to anyone. So this is how we are. And perhaps, that is the reason that the ants are self-sufficient and they need not go begging. They don't go begging like that. So they store for the winter months. So the ant asks the cricket, what were you doing during the summer season? So let's see what the cricket says. During the warm months you had to store, isn't it? But let's see what the cricket says. Cricket says quoth. Quoth means said. The cricket said, not I. My heart was so light during the summer season, so I sang all day and night, for all the nature looked gay. Gay means what? Happy and enjoyable. I told you, no? So he says, I never collected anything. Why? Because my heart was so light, so happy I was, and I sang all day and night. So let's see what the ant replies. Yes, replies for the cricket's explanation. You sang, sir, you say? Go then, says the ant, and dance the winter away. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket, and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Folks call this a fable, I'll warrant it true. Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. Now, hearing this explanation, what the cricket gave, in the previous stanza, the ant told him that, okay, so you were dancing, you spent all your time dancing and singing during summer, isn't it? So spend the same way even in winter, do the same thing, keep dancing and singing even in winter. So there is no point in crying over spilt milk. That means, he says, once this milk is spilt, you cannot cry over it, because spilt is spilt, it's gone. So you wasted all your time singing and dancing. Now what is the point in you crying? You don't have food to eat during winter. And he gets very irritated, that's what he does. Ending, he hastily means he quickly, lifted the wicket. Wicket means a small door. So he closes it and he opens it, he lifts it, and he asks the cricket to leave. Those who do not wish to help themselves cannot be saved by others, That's true. So if you cannot help yourself, how do you expect the others to save you? What the cricket did was wrong. He did not help himself. He did not store food for himself during the months of summer. Now he's crying. And how can he expect the others to help him? So the poet, in the final couplet of the poem, the final couplet means, see, the folks Folks call this a fable. I'll warrant it true. Folks means, here it is people. Folks means people. Okay, warrant means guarantee. So he guarantees or he conveys a message. He says to the readers that though this tale means is a story, is believed to be a fable, though this tale is believed to be a fable, it is no less than truth. There is a moral given. There is some truth hidden there, isn't it? And poet calls this truth because what is true for the four-legged cricket is also true for the two-legged humans. Isn't it right, children? So this is a truth. If you have not stored anything, or if you have not collected anything, if you don't use the opportunity given to you at the right time, you will lose. When you really are in need of it, you will not get it. So this poem talks about the cricket, that is the four-legged animal or the insect. But this is very true for the two-legged humans also. Even we should not lose the opportunity. So we have to make use of it, store whatever has to. Now it is your job is to study and to gain knowledge. So that you have to do. If you lose this opportunity, you will not get it later. And then you cannot cry over the spilt milk, isn't it? So I think you enjoyed the poem. It's a nice fable with a moral. So you try to follow it. Okay, children? Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Thank you, children.